Another huge concern during your third trimester is and becomes sleep. And the main reason why sleep becomes such a problem during your third trimester is because it's just very hard to get comfortable. It's hard to get comfortable in bed. And so finding a position that's comfortable is difficult. On top of that, you really need to only sleep on your side. If at all possible, sleeping on your back compresses arteries and veins in your lower back. The weight of the baby pushes on them and can cause some problems with where you're not getting enough circulation down through your legs. You can have like pins and needles and things like that going on. You can have problems with circulation and other parts of your abdomen. And so it's actually important to avoid sleeping flat on your back for long periods of time during your third trimester. It's also something we tell you not to freak out about, though, because a lot of women, a lot of our students wake up, especially if they were back sleepers on their whole life, flat on their back in the middle of the night. And quite honestly, oftentimes, one of the biggest reasons you're not going to want to sleep flat on your back anyhow is because it just becomes very painful, because the weight of your belly. The other reason you really don't want to sleep on your back is because it does encourage your baby to assume a sunny side up position, as we call it, posterior, as we mentioned before, where your baby is facing your belly button as opposed to your spine. So it's important to sleep on your side if at all possible. We have a couple of kind of neat tips to help you. First of all, let's mention a couple other things you can do to help yourself get a better night's sleep. I mentioned the nasal strips, the nose strips, and the nasal rinses. Those are excellent things that can help you so that you're breathing more easily and not waking up gasping for air or because you're snoring. You will have to go to the bathroom more often, and so a real problem for a lot of women is you have to get up every couple of hours to go to the bathroom. And also pregnancy hormones kick in, I think, to kind of start preparing you for breastfeeding. But we find that a lot of pregnant women wake up every couple of hours, and both the last trimester and also for the first few months after their baby's born. And a lot of the reason for that is so they can nurse their baby every few hours. It might be a hormonal thing as well, helping you prepare for taking care of your baby when it's born. For sure, any kind of caffeine is a really bad idea, especially in your third trimester. That's not going to help you sleep well. Same thing with sodas. They have a lot of caffeine and sugar, so hopefully you're not drinking those anyhow. Having naps during the day, if you're having trouble getting enough sleep during the night, is always a great idea. Drinking a warm beverage before you're going to bed, in addition to your protein snack, is also a great idea. Warm milk can be very helpful. It has tryptophan in it that can help you sleep. From a protein snack perspective, turkey actually has tryptophan, which is known to help with sleep. And so that's another good thing. Making sure you're getting enough exercise. We tease in class about how during your third trimester, it's not so much about getting out and getting your brisk walk in as it often is your brisk waddle. And so just know that even though you might not be walking quickly, you might not even be getting your heart rate up like you used to, earlier in your pregnancy, it's still very important to get out and waddle on a regular basis while you're pregnant. Not only is it going to help you sleep, but it's also going to help your baby come down into your pelvis and assume the best possible position for birth. And while you're walking, the movement itself provides space for your baby to move. And so one of the things that you will find as you're, progress in your third trimester is that your baby is going to move less and less because it just does not have room to move. It gets really squeezed in your abdomen. And so, to the extent that you're walking and doing things like the cat stretches that we mentioned before, those two things in particular, and also squatting, really help open up some space to allow your baby to do some of the movements it needs to do to get comfortable and also to get into the best possible position for birth. Yoga can be really helpful with that as well. From an essential oil perspective, one of the things that many women enjoy is having lavender oil. rubbed into their feet at nighttime. That can be very relaxing and helpful. Also on your stomach to help prevent stretch marks due to some of the problems with sleeping and your mucous membranes becoming dry and much more sensitive. In addition to the nasal rinses, you might find that having a diffuser in your room with some lavender, a couple drops of lavender essential oil or frankincense even, or bergamot, might actually be very relaxing and help keep your sinuses moist so that you don't have trouble with nosebleeds or just dry cracking and irritation like that. Also on the back of your neck, it can feel very nice, those oils. So now here I'm going to let you in on my favorite secret when it comes to sleep, and that is what I call the U pillow. So I want to encourage you all to become shameless bed hogs, especially during your third trimester. What I love so much about these U pillows, I have not had not one of my pregnancy and childbirth students ever dislike these U pillows. It's really kind of funny. It's the way to survive your third trimester in particular. And what's so great about having a U pillow as opposed to just a bolster, a long, they have some other pregnancy pillows that are just one like a long hot dog. Why the U pillow makes a huge difference is it supports everything. So you can see that this lady on the brown pillow, she has the pillow between her legs, so that's helping take pressure off of her sciatic area. Your pelvis expands and becomes wider while you're pregnant, and actually after pregnancy your pelvis will usually remain wider than it was prior to pregnancy. And so that puts a lot of pressure on your tendons and ligaments on the outside, particularly in the sciatic area on the outside of your leg, because although your pelvis is wider, your knees, it means that in order for your knees to be in alignment, something needs to be in between them while you're sleeping. And so having something in between your legs is incredibly important. It's also incredibly important as you get bigger to have your stomach supported properly. So if your belly is only being supported by the bed, then that actually pulls this outside of your belly. So being able to fit the U pillow where so that it's supporting your belly in a way that's not pulling on your back and on the tendons and ligaments in the side of your belly that are trying to, that are working so hard, particularly during the day. By being able to support your belly, that's going to make you a lot more comfortable and improve your rest. With a U pillow, it often can help support your breasts as they get large and engorged as they prepare for breastfeeding, and they're especially tender and sensitive. The other thing is you can get your neck and head in alignment. So it's actually underneath your shoulder and supporting your neck so that it's not flopping down. And then the other part that's so important is it comes around the back of you and it supports your back. And so oftentimes you're going to want to shift slightly, and you can see this here, but you'll kind of like not roll on your back entirely, but you might want to roll back and forth a little bit. Sometimes you really want to almost be not on your belly, but kind of supporting yourself so you can be more face down towards the bed, and other times you're going to want to be up a little bit more, and having the ability to support yourself in any of those positions makes a huge difference. It also makes it easier to roll over in the middle of the night. So anyhow, I highly recommend, if you're having trouble sleeping, consider a U pillow. There's lots of places you can get them online, and that can make a huge difference, especially during your third trimester.